All right, here's part 2 of the video. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the note card and would suggest if you don't have this filled out yet, pause it here, fill this information in because it'll be a good reference tool. You can actually use it on your test and put any notes on the back of this paper from this unit. Okay, so pause that. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the actual working these out. All right. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is product property. So product means that we multiply. So when I have two things that I'm multiplying, okay, let's get the pen here. So if I have log b of m and I am adding it, I know I said multiplication, so bear with me, to log b of n, addition is a quicker way of adding stuff together. So I want to condense these. So the best way that I can think of to describe this is think about the greatest common factor of these two terms. And that means, what do these two have in common? Well, they both have log b in common. So what I can do is factor out that log b and then multiply the two values. So that is the product property. Find out what they have in common, factor it out front, and multiply what's left over. Okay. So let's go on to this first one. Number 1. What do they have in common? Well, they have log 2 in common, and we're left with 7 and 4. So we multiply those two. So that gives me log 2 of 28. And I really don't need the parentheses around it at this point because I've simplified it. Number 2, let's go to number 3. I'm going to skip number 2. I'm going to go to number 3. Well, they both have log 4 in common, and I'm left over with 2x times 4x squared. So when I bring those together, I've got log 4 of 8x to the third. 2 times 4 is 8. X times x squared gives me x third. Okay, so that's the condensing. Now the expanding is I need to look for the terms that are within the log, and I need to expand that. So I'm looking for two numbers that would multiply to 6. Well, that would be log maybe 2 times 3. Somebody could use 1 times 6 as well. We're going to practice expanding that. So I'm going to get log of 2 plus log of 3. Now on this one they didn't put a base, so remember the base is 10. Okay, when they don't write that base, we understand that it's 10. All right, so I'm going to go over to number 5 and try to find two numbers that I could multiply to give me 45. So that would be log 7. I'm going to do 3 and 15. You could do 5 and 9. Okay. So then we would have log of 7 of 3 plus log of 7 of 15. All right. Last one. I'm going to have log 2 of 5 plus log 2 of x. Okay? All right, now when it comes to quotient property, that one there, instead of adding, now we're looking at things that were being subtracted. So log b of m minus log b of n. That subtraction in the middle tells me that this time I'm going to use division. Still take out that greatest common factor. Okay, so they have log b, and I'm left with m divided by n. Okay. All right, so on this one, this I could break up into log 8 of numbers that I could use. Sorry. I skipped the condensing part, so let me go to the top part first. So the condensing, I'm going to have log 3 of 24 divided by 8, which gives me log 3 of 3. Okay. Then I'll skip number 8 and I'll go to number 9. So I will have log 4 of x to the 9th minus, okay, that does not look like an exponent, x to the 9th over x squared. And that gives me log 4 of x to the 7th, because when we're dividing, we subtract the exponents. Okay. All right, now expanding, we're breaking it apart. So I need two numbers that would multiply to 4. Well, pick any two numbers that you can think of. There's 1 and 4, there's 2 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go with 1 and 4. Okay. So I'm going to have log 8 of 1 minus, ooh, that shouldn't be a multiplication, that should be a division. So, okay, let me go back, erase that, because I'm thinking multiplication and it's addition. So I need two numbers that would divide to give me 4. So in this case, I'm going to do 8 and 2. And you could use 16 and 4, you could use 28 and 6, any two numbers where the fraction would reduce to 4. Okay. So I'm going to have log of 8 minus, because we're dividing, log 8 of 2. All right, so let's do this next one. It's already a fraction, so when I write it, I'm going to have log 5 of 1 minus log 5 of the denominator, and then number 12. Log base 10, because they don't write it, of m minus log base 10 of 7. Okay. All right, those two take practice, but they usually catch on pretty quickly. Power property is one that can be a little tricky. So let's look at this one. So power property is if I had something where there was a variable out front in front of the log, what we're going to do is take that power and put it on top of m, so that I would have log b of m to the n power. Okay. If I needed to move it back when I'm expanding, then I would move it that way. All right. All right. So let's go look at number 15. So I've got this 5 here, and I'm going to put it on top of the 2. So I'm going to have log 4 of 2 to the 5th power. Since I can simplify 2 to the 5th power, I'm going to. So I will have log 5 of 32. Okay. All right, so this one here, take this 7, move it over. So I will have log 2 of x to the 7th. And since x, we don't know the value, it's an unknown value, I can't do anything more with that one, so that one stays there. All right, this one, move the 1/3 on top of the 8. So I will have log of 8, nope, log of 10, they have the base 10 again, log base 10 of 8 to the 1/3 power. 8 to the 1/3 power, and you can do that in your calculator, is log base 10 of 2, negative 2. Nope, hold on a second. That one there is one of those that we talked about where it's tricky and you've got to be careful with that value. This one here is going to be negative 2, but I wanted to catch it for a second because I want you to realize that when we're talking about those negative exponents, there's got to be times where, yeah, we might see a negative exponent or we might not. So this one here on this one is going to be 8 to the 1/3. It's going to be positive 2. Why do I keep writing negative 2? Because you want to think of it as power over root. So 8 to the 1/3 power. Okay, and 8 to the 1/3 power does come out to log of positive 2. Okay, but like I said, you can actually take this here and plug it into your calculator and it'll give you the answer too. Right? All right, expanding. Now we're going to do this backwards. So where I see this 7, I'm going to move it out front. So I'm going to have 7 times log 2 of 8. This one over here has the x minus 1 out front, so I'm going to bring it up here. So I have x minus 1 times 3 times log base 10 of 4. I'm going to distribute this 3 into the parentheses. So I will have 3x minus 3 log of 4. Okay. And this last one, I'm going to turn that into log of 7, w to the 1/2. Move that 1/2 up front. So I have 1/2 times log of 7 of w. Okay? All right. I'm going to stop there on that one. If I had to say, where do I want you to practice? There is some practice on the back. I would definitely do the first 4 in each section. That would give you really good practice for this. Okay. And I'm okay right now if you don't do this worksheet on part 4, but again, there are some good practice problems. I would like to see you actually go over to the review and do some there. So we'll hold off on that. So if you can practice 4 on the back of each kind of condensing and expanding, we'll be good. All right, we'll stop right there.